We are live on the Virtual Grip Network, and hopefully you all brought your IDs because it's time to swing by the casino here at Dover Downs and play some blackjack for week 21 of the OBRL YesterYear Racing Cup Series. YesterYear, where past meets present. I'm Zach Chapman, a.k.a. Shaggy, along with my partner in crime, John Hine. We're lucky enough to have the heartbeat of BGN, the absolute breast, bringing all the sights and sounds. The one and only Ryan Seneker. Last week, the boys rolled into the hills of Sonoma, where we saw more dominance out of that number 40 car of Andrew Kotska as he completed the sweep of back-to-back road courses. Daniel Hill brought home P2, but the real story was Jerry Isaacs and his ability to make up time on pit road, which ultimately led to a timely pass of the defending champion Josh Robinson for third. Alan Wanamaker saw the gap to 16th position widen and now finds himself 40 points ahead of the battle for the final playoff spot between Luke Lane and Roger Hurley. Can Roger flip the switch and fall back into the playoffs, or can an outsider possibly get his first win and break both of their hearts? Time to find out as the mentality changes this week and we head into the Monster Mile side by side, possibly 3 wide in Dover, Delaware. Now, John, I mentioned last week that this track holds so many memories for me, including seeing my favorite driver, Mark Martin, take the checkers, but I have to be honest, without sounding a little cliche, I think the best memories here are just the constant side-by-side racing and the many close finishes that this place has produced. But they're not necessarily being a preferred line here tonight. You know, some drivers will roll the top, some will roll the bottom. What do you expect tonight out of the monster that is Dover Motor Speedway?
Well, first I'm going to say my favorite memory here is this was the first race after 9/11 and the first sporting event to get back and everything. It was, and the same thing for COVID. I think this was the first race sporting event after the COVID shutdown there. So this is a really cool track, a lot of cool memories. But for the race tonight, the thing that is the most important, look at the track temperature. We got 116 degrees right now on the track. These guys are going to have their hands full. That means grip is going to be hard to come by, whether you're on the bottom, whether you're running through the middle or up top. These guys are going to fight their cars on cold tires, you know, fresh tires coming out of the pits, half-worn tires, and when they get worn down, you know, and these guys are known for green flag laps, getting long runs in. Boy, when these tires get worn on a track that doesn't have grip, that is a combination I cannot wait to see how these guys handle. They've handled a lot this season. They've never failed to impress. I have no reason to think they won't here, but boy, this is going to be an entertaining race here tonight.
Yeah, and John, you know, you mentioned the track temperature. How much harder does that make it to complete that pass on the bottom coming out of turns 2 and 4? I'd have to think, you know, you're already struggling for grip, but man, with the track being so hot, oh boy, it's going to be tough.
Yeah, it's going to be tough because if you're on the bottom, it's going to be tough to get the back end to catch and to get the grip in the back end of the car, and it's just going to want to swing around. If you're up top, it's the same thing. You've got to hold. You're talking steady Eddie on that steering wheel. If you start to input a lot of wheel up on the top, same scenario. You're not going to find that side bite that guys like to feel when they're in the corner and that car's hooking around a corner. We call that a side bite, where you can kind of feel the car in the track a little bit. None of that's going to be there. So if you are putting too much wheel into it, no matter which line you're in, you are going to have an issue with the back end of that car. And if everybody's in a pack, a lot of guys are going to get caught up in it because this is one of those tracks that's fast. If everybody's put together, if you see a wreck, boy, you're going to have a hard time not being in that wreck.
Now, we don't have a lot of time here, but let's go ahead. Let's show the points real quick. We'll probably get a starting grid in, I want to say, about 30 seconds or so. Qualifying about to come to a close, but mentioned Andrew Kotska, you know, he was tied with Josh, all of a sudden wins twice. Tied for the lead there. You see 168 points down in the actual tiebreaker. But, man, 5 wins for him, pretty impressive. And there we see Luke Lane, John, even after still missing the week, he's still holding himself good, that final spot. But, man, this could be a place where this is where I'm kind of leading you in, John. I think there's a chance we have a first-time winner here tonight. This place can be unpredictable.
It's possible. Plus, the guy right behind him in the points, real quick, Roger Hurley. Roger's put a string of some pretty good races together here, too. So keep an eye out for that battle here, and I'm sure we'll touch on it through the night. But kind of looks like everybody's the jar has been called to their cars, and it looks like they're climbing in and getting ready to roll off here for their pace laps.
Yeah, let's go ahead. We'll see if we can get that grid. And starting on the pole, surprise, surprise, defending champion Josh Robinson to the outside, the trash man, Daniel Hill.
Christian Lushin is going to roll off third, and next to him, in a brand new number. Gone are the 3-digit numbers for Andrew. He's passed his rookie test, I guess you could say. He's going to line up with the car number 12 this week.
What a time, too, John, because, normally he wouldn't have been able to qualify. That's a good effort. We'll have to see what he can do. So Wayne Hufford on the inside of row 3, to the outside, Courtney Nelson.
Row number 7 is going to be Chris Bates, next to Jerry Isaacs.
Inside of row 5, Andrew Kotska. Can he go 3 in a row? To the outside, 59, Sean Foltz.
Starting 11th is going to be the aforementioned Roger Hurley. He's chasing that final spot to get into the chase. He's going to roll off from 11th to his outside. One of the guys that have the most wins this season, that's going to be Dwayne MacArthur.
Alan Wanamaker lines up on the inside of row 7 to the top shelf, Gavin Adams.
Kenny Allen, Kevin Masur are going to occupy row number 8.
Lee Worsdale to the inside of row 9, to the outside, Brian Lynch.
Robert Grisco and Scott Negus are going to round out your top 20.
Greg McDaniel in the Blackjack starting spot inside of row 11, to the outside, Patrick Martindale.
Victor Lane and James Hislop are going to occupy row number 12.
John Paris to the inside of row 13, to the outside, Torrance Childs. And John, the next guy, I believe, the last guy to put in a time. It
is. It's Andy Thomas. He's going to roll off 22nd. Curious why Tom Ogle, what happened to him on qualifying here, but he might have gotten an EOL, but Tom Ogle is going to roll off 28.
David Brand on the inside of row 15, to the outside, Lloyd Moore.
Tom Massey, Jeff Lyden occupy 31st, 32nd.
Clay Walker to the inside of row 17, to the outside, Bill Martin.
Ben Shepard and your Daytona winner, Mark Fish, going to start 35th, 36th.
Eric McCluskey to the inside of 19, to the outside, Luke Lane. And the final one, John, I'll just take it here, Nicholas Self. This is a short track. We may be getting ready to roll. I can't remember if we do 2 pace laps here or not.
Yeah, and real quick, EOLs, Tom Ogle, Jeff Lyden, Lloyd Moore, Clay Walker, Ben Shepard, Eric McClusty, and David Brand all going to the rear.
And I can see, actually, I just clicked to a camera. They did extend here, so we're going to go 1 lap around. I think they wanted to make sure those penalties were issued, and now, that gives these guys a little bit of time to think. And, I don't really see anybody taking advantage of it. And obviously, John, you got to be careful, but maybe right now you swerve a little bit or drag the brake, heat up those tires.
I would drag the brake. I always drag the brake to get heat in the brakes, especially on a shorter track. Always dragging the brake around to get the heat there.
Yeah, and that'll also, help. The heat from the rotors will help generate that tire temp. So maybe find you a little extra grip. And as John mentioned, hot racing surface. Let me double check what it is right now. Where can I find that, John?
114 degrees. It's under your weather tab.
There we go. There we go. See, that's what we need John for, the weatherman out here.
And unlike today, no threat of rain. So, no rain kind of gumming up the end of the race. So, but, these guys right now, I can't wait to hear them roll off here into turn 1. It's going to be really cool to watch these guys. They're going to have to be careful. Things are going to go south real quick for them.
Yeah, and this is where maybe you do take turn 1 with the road course mentality. Hot track temp, just take it easy, get through 1 and 2, see what happens. But man, oh man, that green flag's high. She is ready to fly. Josh Robinson drops the hammer. We're underway. 200 laps to play. Oh, big move. I couldn't tell who that was. Who is that fit there? Courtney Nelson. He dropped back down, but Jerry Isaacs, he lifted out, gave him plenty of room, but there's a big gap between those guys now, and it just shows maybe right now you don't want to be on the outside slipping and sliding. A lot of guys, John, doing the opposite of what I thought. They want to get down to the inside.
Yeah, well, the inside's a little safer right now at this point. Now, I think as tires wear, I think you're eventually going to see guys kind of graduate up the track a bit. But right now, on the bottom, early on, I would just think there's some safety in that. I know when I was, kind of running the car with them out there, the car was definitely more stable on the bottom.
Yeah, Gavin Adams thought best of it. He was side by side with Kotska there for a lap and a half. Fell in line, and now Andrew Medlin, it looked like, was thinking about taking a peek there on Lushin to get into the podium, but here comes Daniel Hill, the trash man. He's coming with a big run, sucks up on the back of your leader, just lifts, and man, John, this reminds me of maybe a cat just playing with its toy here, just keeping him right in front of him, right where he wants him. It's a little too early, I think, to start racing too hard.
Yeah, and the one thing I've learned with this tire model, you know what, how you kind of treat your tires the first, 15, maybe 20 laps of it. You really want to have a good long run car where, 20, 30 laps into the run or 30, 40 laps into the run, you want that car to be under you and passing guys and making moves. You got to take care of them the first part of the run there on a set of tires.
And sometimes, I see guys, it's my software bouncing around. I was wondering how Bill Martin gained a bunch of spots, but it went back to 9. That's still a lot of laps here in 5 laps. Good run here so far. That Diet Mountain Dew machine, but, we got to go back to Bill Martin, Ryan, here. There's about to be a battle between Diet Mountain Dew and Pepsi. Can John Paris prove that Pepsi is the superior product? No, now that I say that, he's just going to baby it. And the real man on the move talked about him not qualifying, John. Tom Ogle is kind of stuck in the sand right behind him. This is surprising out of Tom.
Yeah, I think Tom's just kind of taking care of his equipment. I've been watching him since the drop of the green, and he hasn't really been aggressive with the car. But you talked about the drink war. I miss the days when, Jack Daniels and Jimmy Beam were on the track, and have those kind of wars, or I like those better. Those are always kind of a couple of my favorite paint schemes on cars, especially that Jack Daniels one.
Now, I guess I have a soft heart for smokers because of my dad, but I always loved the cigarette cars, John. I was a little heartbroken when they took, the cigarettes away. I mean, no more Winston, no Bull. I mean, come on. I mean, that's what it was all about.
Well, that happened also internationally, because Marlboro used to be on the Ferrari F1 cars, and they had to take them off eventually or everywhere. The first they were here, when they would come here, they would have to change their livery when they got here. So, yeah, times change.
Oh, lots of single file here. Lushin looking like he has some pace there. Here comes the 92 of Hislop, trying to take a peek under, I believe that's Alan Wanamaker. Hislop, another guy, John, up 7 spots, man. I mean, he's moving. 2 less than Bill Martin, but that's moving. And you talk about, you need to save those tires. Yeah, you can move, but man, you got to be careful showing this much pace this early. And he takes a peek, finally gets the pass on Wanamaker. We're watching that Kubota machine of Gavin Adams. He's on the high side.
Well, Zach, I was gonna just mention that too. Guys moving forward and all that. I mean, that's good to see, but like you said, you're pacing yourself out. But are they moving forward because the other guys just being really careful here early on, or do they just have outright pace? We're gonna have to wait a little while to find the answer to that. But boy, there's a hornet's nest up here.
Yeah, not too sure what happened with Lushin there, but he was running around in 3rd. May have had a scare. I mean, I'm rewinding. It doesn't look like it. Just kind of gets a run there on the high side and then maybe pinched down, and now finally gets back in line. But, man, going to lose 3 spots. And, John, if you're going to have that happen to you, if you're going to make a mistake, you want to learn on lap 12. It's better now than later.
Absolutely. But I'll tell you, there's a great battle back here with Gavin Adams and James Hislop, and Roger Hurley is looking for a way around here.
Yeah, Gavin Adams, he's been on that outside. He's flirting with it, but he hasn't been real aggressive. It's almost like he's given up the bottom, willing to let those guys go underneath. And at the end of the day, John, we've talked about it before. I think that's the smart move if you're not going to be aggressive, because you're making that guy, as you see Hurley fly up the track, they almost touch. But man, you know, you're making that guy on the inside really work his tires. Now Courtney Nelson on the inside here. Having, you know, some people, we're hearing, you know, needed certain sponsors on the race car, so I'm going to update that. That's why you saw the ghost cars for a little bit. Well, you saw Courtney Nelson pass one of them, which we can now confirm was the 12 of Andrew Medlin. And Medlin, John, you touched on it. First race, 2-digit number. He's got to enjoy this view, man. This is a lot nicer than having to work through the field.
A whole lot less stressful, that's for sure. And Courtney Nelson running P3. I got to give a shout out to Courtney, man. He came and ran dirt with us on Friday night. And all through the week, he was, you know, hey, where do I need to be at, you know, time-wise, all this kind of stuff. And I think he was sandbagging me because he's like, you know, he said he ran a 15:20 something. And next thing I know, he's qualifying up front. He ran a solid P2 at Lincoln, and Lincoln's one of the most difficult dirt tracks there are in the service. So this guy is multi-talented. We know he's good on the road courses. Oh, we have a caution.
Oh, a big caution. Clay Walker, that was a violent spin. I imagine hard contact coming out of 4. We'll try to get a better view of that. But man, Courtney Nelson, maybe Kyle Larson Jr. I mean, Kyle won his first race in a pro late, so he can't give it away, but he gets loose coming off it too. And actually,
yeah, but I think Lloyd Moore comes by and gets a piece of that.
Oh, that's why it looked so violent. Wow, look at all the rubber and metal go flying there. Lloyd Moore, can we get an onboard view of him, Ryan? This is tough. Maybe.
Yeah, Clay Walker, I saw those tires start to roll up the track, so, you know, you got to hold your brake in those situations, and probably created a moving target, and I'm going to bet that the 00 there did not know where to go.
No, that's exactly what it was. I mean, Ryan clicked over at that onboard right at the perfect time. You could see tires were smoking. All of a sudden, tires not smoking. Then they start to smoke again as he realizes, hey, I'm floating up the track, and it was just a little too late.
Yep.
Boy, oh boy, that's tough. And see drivers coming around here, opting. I don't think we had. No, we do.
A couple in the back.
Tom Ogle coming down pit road. He's going to be the first guy. Maybe think about doing some different strategy.
I think he brought a lot of guys with him too, because there's about 4 or 5 guys that rolled in behind him. So I don't really know that that's going to cost Tom a whole lot of spot on the track.
No, and looking at the pit time, I mean that's just for fuel here. So that's maybe, you know, baby in the tires. Tom going to try to run this thing as long as he can. I mean, you know, John, I don't want to put the hex on him, but this isn't a common caution, so odds are probably going to get a long green flag run between here and now, the end of the race. Yeah, Tom hoping it's now. And another thing, John, actually, not to like take the mic here, hog it up too much, but you talk about that track temp. I mean, Tom, if he stays out here longer than these guys, you're going to lose a lap under green flag pit stops, I think. Maybe somebody pulls out on cold tires, spins out, and all of a sudden, Tom Ogle, you know, he's out front. I mean, anything can happen.
100% anything can happen. And, you know, with these guys, Tom, you know, as they like to say in the driver's meeting, you know, behind 8 ball here, and not, you know, it was an EOL. He didn't have trouble on the track, but I know in their drivers' meetings, they like to call them penalizations. So we're going to double him up here, and he's going to have to go back to work here. He's got a long way to go to the front, though.
Yeah, and, you know, he's one of those guys locked in. He's already got the win, so maybe this is his Hail Mary, as they'd say, his last-ditch attempt to add another one here in Dover. As John mentioned, we're doubled up. We'll watch that pace car pull off here in the middle of 3 and 4, and Josh Robinson will drop that hammer at any time we enter that Geico restart zone. And, you know, that's something we don't really talk about either, John. That's kind of an art to itself. You know, the guy on the outside can't go faster than, I want to say, 50 miles per hour, maybe 45 when that thing. So it's tough to be on the outside, not get that black flag and stay even. Josh going to play nice here, though. not really going to speed up. Let Daniel get right to that door. We're going to enter the zone. We'll wait for him to drop the hammer. He does. Good restart. Daniel spun the tires. You could see him kind of go up against the outside wall, and now all of a sudden, Courtney Nelson, welcome to P2.
Yeah, these cars, on a hot day like this, that tire spin is going to be a big deal, I think, if we have a lot of restarts here. But the front about 5 or 6 get away, there's a hornet's nest back about mid-pack.
Yes, there is. And man, oh man, Wayne Hufford, the guy right, or two guys up in front of that. It's actually Kelvin Mosier, the first man side by side. You mix the black cars up. That's Mosier. And John, it seemed like now obviously the tires have aged a little bit, but Mosier, we saw him get a pass done on the outside there. I think that's the first guy to utilize it. Now right behind him, here comes that Mobile One machine of James Hislop. Got another guy using the outside. Here it comes.
Yeah, and that's what I said. I thought the cars would walk up the track as they got tires in there, but we got a good battle now for the second place here. Courtney is on the outside. Dan Hill wants that position back.
He is, and man, Courtney not able to hold him off. Daniel gets it back, and have to see. Okay, I was keeping my eye on Lushin. He goes to the bottom this time. Last time through 1 and 2. I mean, he almost went against that outside wall. Maybe just experiment, because here he comes with a run. Lushin taking a peek here on Andrew Medlin.
Yeah, Medlin goes up into that middle lane there, and yeah, that does open the door for Lushin there. And oh, Lushin, the problem is getting that power down out of the corner. I talked about the back end breaking loose. That just happened to the 3 car there on corner exit coming out of 4.
Yeah, and it doesn't look that severe either, but now he's going to have to be careful, for an extra lap or so. You make those tires a little angry, and that makes the pass that much more difficult. Hence why I think we see not a big send there into 3, and he's just going to have to maybe set him up here again in a lap or 2.
Yeah, and it is a big deal for the sole purpose. Your opponent on the outside there is able to stay in the gas, and when that back end starts to lift, kind of step out, you have to lift. So if one starts gaining momentum and the other one's got to break it, and that's a tough spot if you get loose coming out trying to pass somebody.
Side by side, that's Roger Hurley and I believe Scott Negus in that 94 machine on the bottom. He gets loose. Hang on, Scotty boy. Car there, and oh boy, no caution flag, but I don't know if we're man,
fish
we're on the inside. The Daytona 500 winner goes around. There is no caution on the racetrack. What are we doing, Bernie? Pull the flag out. He's going to keep it in. He's feeling lazy. And
and the leader is coming through turn 2 now. He's coming through all kinds of smoke. But now as he comes out of turn 2, he can see all these cars ahead of him. Yeah, Josh is probably going, what just happened there?
Man, John, I don't really think to mention it here. We always mention it at tracks like Talladega, Daytona. Sometimes you get those spins to the infield that don't call the cautions. But man, you do not expect it here. Not a lot of room on the inside. With a car parked still, that is shocking.
Yeah, you would have thought. I mean, never mind just that the car is almost spinning and stuff like that, the carnage on the track. So a lot of guys are in pit road now. There's a handful of cars that have gone down to pit road now. But now what that is going to create, Zach, is you got our leaders, about half a corner, maybe a full corner, behind the back of the pack, and so traffic is going to become an issue here pretty quick.
Yeah, go on board here with Josh Robinson, because John, obviously Josh, he's a pretty quick defending champion. Or there we go, that's even better. It ain't a full turn anymore, John. Here they come, and oh man, that's not what you want to see. That's a tough break for those guys. And I saw Ryan kind of highlight Tom Ogle there, Luke Lane. Those were guys not even involved, but you got to lift when you see those spins in front of you.
Yes.
And all of a sudden, man, they are stuck back there. And we said, John,
praying for a caution.
Yeah, but man, with them getting spread out, you and I both probably see this writing on the wall. Unless somebody tries a big move, this could be one of their typical green flag runs here.
Yeah, we saw Mark Fish go spin out of the inside wall, and it looked like he took that car right to the trailer. So, yeah, he's done.
He can't wait to get back into Daytona, John. Now, that's, you know, I don't want to jump ahead. That's the final race before
we need to get him on the podcast. We need to get him on the podcast that week, too, because he's kind of a road course, or not a road course, but a plate track ringer.
Yeah, because I believe you're correct in saying that. I think we saw second place out of him, or a podium at least at Talladega, pushing somebody else to a win there. So, James Hislop, side by side. Chris Bates, they didn't make a little contact. Hislop gets in the inside wall. He holds on to it. Another no caution, and man, oh man, the war continues.
Yeah, and luckily for Hislop, he's got to win. So. You know, you never want to have something like this happen, and it's still disheartening because some of these guys put a lot of work into getting ready for these races. But at least when something does happen like that, you can take a deep breath and go, man, I'm glad I got to win.
And you know, somebody who we haven't talked about, we talked about a little bit in practice because it was a new name to me. He was quick on the practice charts. I'm going to throw him under the bus here. Didn't qualify. Maybe just wanted to, you know, start in the back, John. But with all the mayhem, he's up to, I want to say, 20th. My leaderboard's jumping around. It has him at 18th. But, man, it's a pretty good run out of him. And if he could get a caution, that thing's still clean. You're going to have to watch out for that 69 machine.
Yeah, you know, that's the key, though, is keep clean. I mean, pit road is starting to look like a parking lot, so I think this is going to be one of those days of high attrition. So survival, that might become the strategy play for everybody before this thing's done.
And Andrew Kotska was trying to make a move on the outside, had to lift out, now made a move to the inside under Lush and used that lap traffic to his advantage. And boy, oh boy, Kotska, the man who we know is amazing at saving tires. I mean, we've seen him put on some exhibitions this season with only 2 tire pit stops, working his way through the field. Next on his list is that man in the 12, Andrew Medlin and Jerry Isaac. So those two, they better get that ball rolling.
Oh, we got a caution. Oh.
Oh, I'll tell you what, Ryan, just start this on board here, and we're all going to know why he brought out the caution. That's why. You can't see anything. I mean, he hits the inside wall. What is he supposed to do there? He has got a field coming up behind him. One of them hit him, and that is tough for John. I know, this isn't a problem with the league. No, and I know how stressed they are with penalties. I know he will probably get an EOL for bringing out an incident, but please let that only be it, because my, oh my, what else are you supposed to do there? I mean, it's not his fault that the caution flag doesn't wave as he comes to a stop. I mean, that's the most unique wreck I've ever seen as the leaders come down pit road. I have never seen an accident like that.
No, not with their hood flopping up like that. Nor have I. But I'll tell you, a lot of leaders are coming in. But I see a couple guys, including Victor Lane, that stayed out. But I'll tell you, a lot of guys that are going to be real happy here are those guys that got checked up by that earlier incident. Your Tom Ogles, your Luke Lanes. This is a big break for those guys.
A very, very big break. And Torrance Childs, the first person behind the pace car. We don't have to click to that now, but he was a lap down. So Victor Lane is, I think he's the only one I'm seeing on the lead lap who stayed out.
Maybe he wanted the point, get the point. Maybe he's out there to get that point.
I mean, him and Luke.
He's not locked in. Yeah, he's not. Yeah, he's not locked in. So and we talked about the points getting tight.
Yeah, I believe they had their family vacation, we heard last week. So that definitely didn't help the matters. So the boss man, he's got to find points however he can get them. And now, what I am surprised to see here, John, maybe not lead a lap and then come down pit road. He's going to stay out there and 40 laps.
Well, I don't think he led. I don't think he led the last lap. I think the leaders are so far down pit road they crossed our finish line. This one here, I think he'll get credit for leading now. The question will be, does he come in now Pace car's got the lights out. You know, you can get in and catch the back of the, well, I don't know, maybe not here, not a mile. Yeah, he's gonna.
Yeah. He needs
I mean,
a caution
sometimes
now.
you can get it. Yeah, sometimes you can get away with that, but not this track. But yeah, he's gonna need another quick caution.
No, and
But
the
I'll tell
scary
you,
part is here. You were on the old tires, John. You can't beat a
yes,
caution.
that's just what I was gonna get at. Dan Hill, Jerry Isaacs, Andrew Costa, the three cars behind him. They have got to know and recognize that Victor's probably going to fire off a little slowly, and he's at a high risk for spinning his tires. So they've got to be ready to get that stack up.
Oh, let's see what happens here. The boss man going to lead us to the line for, I think he's done it one other time this season off a restart as well. But, oh man, is that I just realized I haven't noticed that skull on the side of that tent all season. Green skull. I wonder if that's new or if that's been there. But either way, we'll hopefully see it victory lane if his strategy pays off as we enter the restart zone. He goes early. I like that. Yeah, I love that. A lot of these guys who, you know, used to being up front, John, maybe play some games. We'll go later.
But look, he completely missed the corner.
I think that's by design.
He's letting him. Yeah, I do too. We went up there and he jumped out there and went right to the high side. Nice sportsmanship by Victor.
Yeah, and how smart
he was gonna be a little hurt with these guys with fresh tires.
Yeah, you didn't need that hot gun barreling down on you, and that's exactly what would have happened here is Kotska trying to look to the inside of Jerry Isaacs. He's getting a good run on the inside with those new cold tires. I can't believe that. What acceleration out of the 40. I mean, that throttle control, to be able to find that grip and accelerate with the car up top of you, man, that's impressive here from Andrew. He's looking to go 3 in a row.
Yeah, the three-peat for him is within sight here. I mean, he's now in the top 5, but still a long way to go here.
Yeah, and you can see there, Johnny kind of coaxed Isaacs into driving up the hill a little bit. You know, if you're going to enter that hard, you're really going to hurt that right front tire. And maybe Kotska, you know, playing the mind games with him. As Ogle here, he's getting to the inside of that Piggly Wiggly machine. Can Tommy get it done? Looks like he's going to clear him easily here as we go into one. I believe that 39 machine. Let me find Tom Ogle. That's Jeff Lyden. Sorry there, Jeff. Now Jeff has another one peeking on the inside. Looked like Crisco was going to try to make a move, and right behind them is that you can't hide from me, Ben. I saw that practice time. Just keep creeping up through the field. We get 1 or 2 more cautions, and man, oh man, this 69 could be someone to watch as MacArthur and I believe the 59 of Foltz side by side. It is Foltz. Foltz with a big run here into 2. He's another one, John, there. I don't mind it, but that's driving it in pretty hard, sliding up that hill.
Yeah, and we talk about a little bit some of these battles. You got to look at the points battles too. Luke Lane that was on that cutoff line, Roger Hurley right behind him. You know, now if we don't get another winner, that's going to be the fight. But Hurley is currently running 11th, and Luke Lane is, last I checked, was 21st. So he's Luke's got some work to do. He needs to get past a few cars here to minimize any kind of point loss.
Yeah, he does, and he's coming up on his pops here too on the old tires. As you see, he's behind the Tom Ogle Bill Martin battle. Bill got that Diet Mountain Dew machine up top. Tom gonna try to slide on by. Can he as he enters 3? He can. Bill, I don't think. I think Bill. This is no shot at Bill. He'd say this. I think he knows that 11, maybe a little more pace. Didn't look like he put up much of a fight.
Yeah, smart to do. We're not even halfway yet, so.
No, especially with the carnage we've seen here, John. That is uncharacteristic of this league, but I think very characteristic of, as you so blatantly touched on, man, this track temperature is nasty.
Yeah, and you know what? Everybody knows it's a problem for everybody, so guys will race accordingly. You know what? Maybe not put yourself in that position, or maybe tone down the aggressiveness and that kind of stuff. So these guys are really, really smart what they do. So I can promise you, they all know the deal with the temperature, and they all know by now how their cars are handling and what they can get away with, what they can't get away with. And that's what produces really good racing, because then guys are racing within themselves and makes it fun to watch.
Now, Daniel can do this right now because Isaacs isn't behind him. I'm loving this cut down line, and right now, yeah, we were watching P2 Courtney Nelson, but I think the real man to watch is this 7. I'm loving that cut down line. It's going to be difficult to do with other cars around you. But man,
he better do it quick because I think Koska's going to be up there here in a second, giving him an big slide by the 7. Round he goes into the wall.
I couldn't tell if he got a little love tap there or not.
No, that was, remember how we talked about the new air model? I can promise you, Isaacs got in the right spot that moved that air around that deck lid, and that car got loose on him. I guarantee you that's what happened.
Yeah, John, you're exactly right. I just went to rewind, and I can clear Jerry Isaacs, went to the onboard camera, and there is no contact. And I think the biggest heartbreak there for Daniel, another no caution. That's a tough one, John, and that's going to pretty much put an end to that night.
Oh, I don't know about that. You know what? We've seen Daniel spot the field with positions by having things happen. And you know what? A couple cautions. He comes into the pits, gets squared away. Next thing you know, he's back in the top 5 by the end of the race.
The father-son battle that everybody has been waiting for wasn't much of a battle. The Code Red machine blows the doors off that man. But remember, still on that original set of tires. And, you know, I don't think it will come into play, John, but with the amount of cautions we're having, maybe we'll have, having that extra set of tires, you know, on pit road may come into play for the boss man later.
Yeah, they might, but we've got a little bit of a battle here for the lead. Courtney Nelson, I think, kind of wants to get out front and lead this thing. He's right all over the back of Josh Robinson here as they go through turns 1 and 2. And I've seen Courtney, peek at it a couple times, and now he's kind of, as soon as they start talking about it, he's kind of settled in a little bit. Or Josh has turned the wick up a little bit. But like right here, look at the 2 different lines going through the corner. And it's almost like Nelson is a little stronger through the center of the corner, but Robinson just gets a better run out of the corner, and I think that's because he's using that higher line.
Yeah, you
see, look at that right through, yeah.
Man,
and that time Robinson didn't, yeah.
See, he's gonna take.
Yeah, once again, just rolls it. Yeah, just rolls, and I don't even think he's not even putting his foot in the throttle to try to motor around him. He's rolling the bottom. And just rolling up, right up to the 23 car right now.
No, and
usually you see it the other way around with that 23 doing that, taking care of his stuff, and then doing that. So, pretty neat to see.
Yeah, it definitely is, because that's what I was going to say. You know, you mentioned they're taking care of your stuff, and for the people out there watching that just hear mouths, don't really pay attention, it may look like Courtney Hayes trying to be aggressive, but in all reality, he's got to get some air on that nose, or else he's going to slide that right front tire. So out of necessity, maybe the quicker car, possibly not the preferred line, but Courtney, man, he is working that thing, and they are right there. I told you this place produced good finishes, John.
Here you go. Courtney's there as you enter turn 1 here, and I tell you, that's brought Jerry Isaacs back into this here a little bit too. He's not too far back. So if these guys go side by side, Courtney really wants to stay on his inside here because he's a lot stronger down here in 3 and 4. But boy, Robinson just powers up on the top. And Courtney Nelson.
Oh, Code Brown for the 78, but man, he barely lost any time there, John. 1 position, maybe a half a second on the racetrack.
Yeah, he's got to lose 2. He's got to lose 2. He's got to let those tires chill out.
And tell him that. He drove it in pretty hard. Look, man. He couldn't get it. Let's see if he catches it this time. No slide. Good drive off. And seeing that 35 take a peek under the 47. And, John, I know we're back here in the field a little bit now, but, man, Jerry Isaacs reeling those guys in, now up to P2. He's probably in the chase, but, God dang it, doesn't that guy deserve a win this season?
Well, yeah, unfortunately in racing, deserves got nothing to do with it. You know, tracks can know you, you're due for a win, all that stuff. It doesn't matter until you make it happen. Jerry's got the talent to make it happen. So I do think it's gonna, you know, I don't really think there's a whole lot of pressure on him. We got another caution here.
Yeah, we do have a caution. Patrick Martindale is sitting sideways on the entry to turn 1, so I imagine this is a weird one.
He's gonna get loose. Yeah, no, he gets loose coming out of tank, slaps it all the way down the front stretch before finally losing it. Just kind of nudging into the wall there at the end of the front stretch, inside wall.
Yeah, he tries that cut down line. I rewinded a little further, and it's almost like when he cuts down to maybe think about a crossover under Victor there. You know, John, typical what we've been seeing. You just you lose the air. I mean, it just unsettled the car, got a little looser than he was used to, and these guys, they gotta learn. It's gonna be a tough season here. iRacing threw a curveball at us, but it's a good curveball.
Well, remember what I said about having that side bite. When you turn down the track, you use a lot of side bite to make that car turn down the track. And when you've got wheel in the car and you meet, you know, wheel in the car and all of a sudden your foot, you know, gets heavy on the throttle and you start getting back to it, that's what will create a loose condition, even with ideal weather conditions. You know, you gas up too quick, it kicks the back out. Well, with the heat and everything that we have going on here today, you don't have that. So as you turn down the track there, it doesn't take much, but it was enough to get him around. But we should draw our attention to pit road here. The 7 who we saw, you know, up front challenging into the wall, he is now in his pit stall. So he's able to get that car worked on. And Zach, I've said it, we've seen this movie before where we've seen him get in trouble. You know, a couple cautions, bada bing, bada boom. He's back in the top 5.
No, and let's be honest. I mean, this car's pretty durable, and I mean, if we're going to race anywhere where damage is a little forgiving, I mean, he's going to be okay here with the way he drives that race car. And you spoke that into existence. He stands a chance. Now the drivers, I mean, you took credit. They're going to blame you, not me. Let's see here. Do we want to pull somebody up real quick?
As I say, we'll see if the lights go out here this time. If not, who you want to pull, and if we do go off, then we can just grab them next time.
I don't know, man. I mean, Andrew Medlin's had a pretty good run. We haven't talked to him much this season. He's hanging out in the top 5.
And they went off.
Okay, we'll save him for next time.
We'll get Andrew. Yeah, we'll get Andrew next time.
Yeah, barring I just jinxed him with my version of John's caution jinx there. We'll have to see. Hopefully Andrew just survived this thing. For my sake.
Oh, I'm married. I'm used to getting blamed for everything, so.
Amen, brother. And I noticed now, too, he's going to be a couple of laps down, but right before that caution came, John Crisco lost the packets. He just now connected. I could see in the race.
All that engine. He had to go and change some plug wires. That's what we'll call it. But real quick, as they go down the backstretch, we've highlighted already a couple times. Blackjack, Luke Lane, he's up to 17th now, so he's closing that gap between he and that 77 car of Roger Hurley.
That is definitely a battle to watch here. As long as no first-time winners come up and spoil this thing, possibly an Andrew Medlin, a Christian Lushin. I mean, row 3 would be full of first-time winners if they could find a way around. As Josh Robinson enters that restart zone, he goes a little early, too. I love that, man. Guys going right when they enter the box. And Isaacs got caught sleeping. Andrew Medlin now battling for 3rd. Isaacs with a good run off the top here. And Medlin now maybe trapped on the bottom because the general, Dwayne MacArthur, going to try to get to the outside, and right behind him, we got Andrew Kotska, but Medlin gets up there and he shuts the door. But Kotska, he wants a little more.
Yeah, he's got the inside there. He's wrapping around that bottom pretty good, but I'll tell you, MacArthur gets a good run off the top, is able to hold on to that position for right now.
Oh, and, you know, I mean, good battles here, but I'll tell you, John, we shouldn't be surprised. Right there on the back of that screen, look at Tom Ogle. Here he comes of 17 spots. Make it 18.
Right there is just a textbook definition of being patient and letting the race come to you, and that's exactly what Ogle has done here. and that's why he's one of the better guys that you see up front week in and week out. He just knows when to push, how to push, you know, pretty solid there. And we got quite a few guys in here in the league like that, but I'd have to say he's probably one of the best at that. Just letting races come to him.
See Patrick Martindale, he's the lap down car there, just staying to the inside, letting the lead lap cars go around. It's a tough spot to be in, but I'm surprised. I mean, that was a decent sized hit there for Martindale, but everything looks pretty straight. Man, Andrew Kotska, Dwayne MacArthur side by side. This battle's for 5th.
Yeah, these two have been going at it for a while here now, back and forth, and this time Kotska is going to prevail and take over that position over MacArthur.
It's the boss man, Victor Lane, looking to the inside here. I believe he is, yeah, they're all still on the lead lap, so we're on the lead lap back until P29, just for anyone out there wondering. And that's pretty impressive, because I'll tell you what, we've seen a lot of cars involved in a lot of misfortunate things, and to still be on the lead lap, keep those things clean, that's a good run. Now we're watching Greg McDaniel try to hold off. Well, he's clearly not a newbie because of that 2-digit number, but the newbie to us, that's the Ben Shepherd. I've mentioned so many times, you can't hide that practice time from me. I think he was 2nd on the overall chart, so expect this guy to keep moving. Just going to need the cards to fall at the right time, and now he's looking to the inside of Greg McDaniel, but John, they're coming up on lap traffic too, Pat Martindale, so you got to be careful.
Yeah, and you know, Martindale's kind of, you know, got to be frustrating. You know, he's actually holding serve right where he's at, but obviously with that mishap, so he knows he's got a decent car that's competitive, and just got caught out, you know, there when he kind of lost it a little bit down the front stretch. So on one hand, you're kind of frustrated because you're thinking about what could have been, but the other hand, you're kind of relieved because it looks like your car still got some giddy up and go to it, and that's always a good thing when you're a driver.
Shepard trying to get this pass done. He finally does. Now Victor Lane, excuse me, the Pops trying to work around Alan Wanamaker as well. Ooh, he gets a little loose there on the inside, has to crack the throttle, and Alan Wanamaker powers by on that outside. Boy, oh boy, John, man, these guys, they're racing clean, but they're trying to race hard, and this racetrack, man, it just does not want to play nice with them today.
No, and I'll tell you, Victor Lane is kind of clawing his way back through. I think he might have, he ran long on that that last deal, you know, where he got the bonus lap, but that caution really helped him out. But he's almost driving like he's got, you know, he's got a lot fresher tires than those around him, and that's got to be a good feeling for him, because I'm sure now he feels like what he did just paid off.
Oh, and I just saw right behind him coming out of 4 last time, Luke Lane hit the wall pretty hard, and now he's got David Brand to his inside in that 65 Adidas machine, and now Bill Martin, he's eating a little wall for dinner here. Going down the front stretch, the Mountain Dew machine keeps rolling, and the war between the 55 and the 21 carries on. David Brand to the inside, finally able to clear Luke. Now he can wash up in front. Now Luke maybe going to lose one more. Here comes Brian Lynch in the 9.
Yeah, Luke has lost a few spaces. I'm wondering if he didn't use up his tires, because he had moved up quite a bit through this run here. So Luke's got the look of somebody that really wants some new tires.
Yeah, that is tough. And I mean, you said it, John, while his dad taking advantage of that tire strategy, I mean, he looks like, I mean, he's an astronaut right now, flying through space. He is quick. Not that Victor normally doesn't have that pace, you know, but I mean, this is good to see out of the boss man. Oh, I couldn't tell who that was with the rejoin. That was close. Everything okay, though, there. And Bill Martin still carrying on. Not a lot of damage on that right side. We take a look at the 47 machine of Ken Allen. He's got the trash man behind him. Now Sean Foltz goes up to the outside. Tom Ogle completes the pass. And, man, Tommy boy up to P9. Andrew Medlin feeling some pressure here from Andrew Kotska. This is the battle of the Andrews. I can't believe I just now, realized this. I mean, the other one we may have to just call A for now on after this race. Let's see who comes out on top. Andrew Kotska, though, looking for the big 3 in a row. You're watching the 69 of Ben Shepherd. He is that hard charger up, 21 spots. Kotska and Medlin side by side. Kotska on the bottom. Medlin trying to get that ODU machine powered off the top. He does. Kotska gets a little loose, and man, oh man, all this going on here. And John, we're still about 17 laps from halfway.
Yeah, and right now, man, I'm watching Luke Lane, and the 7 is about to get up and get in the top 20, but those guys, oh my gosh, I don't know how they haven't wrecked here in the last lap or so.
They are side by side, and I mean, you mentioned Daniel Hill, he got some life breathed into him. He's trying to find his way on by. He gets under Luke. Yeah, Luke gets in the outside wall, and oh man, not what Blackjack needs. This is not going his way tonight.
Yeah, the cars are durable until you start hitting them into the wall several times. And Luke's going to have to, find his way to pit road next time we get a caution and get some of that stuff taken care of, I'll bet. But he's going to have to be careful. You don't want to do that too many times because eventually you're going to break something.
Tom Ogle going shopping here for 8. As you see David Brand on the inside, the 74 of Alan Wanamaker. Not going to do it this time. Alan with a big run off the top shelf, but Tom Ogle, he's going to do it this time. He gets it done on Bates and coming off at 2. Tom Ogle up 20 spots, man. This guy, he surprises me more and more every week, the stuff he can do in one of these race cars.
Yeah, and but they're going to get a lot harder now, I think, from here on in. I don't think Lushin, I don't think Koska. I think these passes are going to get a lot harder now, I think, the next 7 cars.
Oh, the 69 of Ben Shepherd. I jinxed him. Oh, he got loose coming off of 2, got into Gavin Adams. And Shepherd, everything looks okay there so far. Sorry, John, but we saw it on the camera there. And I think everything looks okay with that 69. But boy, oh boy, that was a wreck that was a caution without a caution. I mean, that was a tough shot. The fact that they both kept it straight, that's unbelievable. What it's really done, though, is widen that gap up to Greg McDaniel and Tom Ogle. We thought they'd get a little harder, but Lushin maybe saw that writing on the wall and just let him go on by, maybe thinking, hey, I'll follow this 11 machine. Maybe he's knows a little something I don't know. Now I'm hearing word that Lushin actually just got a little loose, so maybe he was going to make it a little difficult, but just couldn't. Because Tom, man, he's one of them. We've got a couple of them in here, John, but those tire whisperers, man, they can make those things last.
Yeah, and in Lushin's case, you're getting pressure from somebody, it's not a matter of always looking in the mirror and getting them to miss their mark. It's getting them to feel that pressure, so maybe they get back to the throttle too quick. And then, you get loose, or you try to drive it in a little bit deeper to maybe get a little more separation, and, you start to really use up your stuff. So, that pressure, there's a lot of different ways that can affect the guy in front of you. And, it just becomes tough sledding when you got somebody that really wants to get by you.
I have got one of those feelings, Ryan, that we should go back to the 7 car again right now. Because him and Hislop just made contact again coming out of 2. And we saw there the first time, Hislop didn't give him a bunch of room 2 laps ago. And I'll tell you, Daniel, he's got a quick race car. He knows he's got to go. You got to play nice, but, man, at some point you're going to have to use those fenders. He's got a big run here. He's going to try to get it done this time. No, going to stay up high. Maybe try to build this run off of 4.
Crossover.
But, boy, oh, boy, these guys are racing right now like it is the last lap for the championship. Yeah, Daniel pushing this thing. I mean, John, we've all been there. I mean, he's seeing the red mist right now. He is trying to drive that thing hard.
Yep, and but he's getting these huge runs out of the corner, so he's figured out how to make a run on them. Now he's just got to get it timed right. to where he can make a move going into one of these corners here. But his lap kind of goes up, leaves it open, but they're trying to get around Martindale here. Martindale he's not on the same lap as these guys. And now look at the 7.
Using Martindale as a pick. Martindale didn't know which way to go, and now he's going to have to lift here. Hislop's going to lose that spot. But man, this is, definitely a little weird here, because I didn't even think to look at this until my wonderful man in the back said something. John Hislop, he's a couple laps down. That, not to, race your race, but man, this is a little early to race like that, I think.
Well, especially if you're multiple laps down, Yowzers. You've got the right to do that. So, before I say anything critical, you've got the right, you've got every right to the track. But yeah, like you said, you got to play nice, and you put things like that in the memory bank, and if you want to break later on and you're having fun that guy, you create enemies out there. Life can get difficult. It may not even be here at this track. It could be at the next place we go at Indianapolis next week.
No, and surprise, surprise, us iRacers are petty enough to do that. I'm watching Ben Shepherd here. Click on Ben Shepherd, Ryan, hard in the wall, 1 and 2.
Yes, he did.
He got in
almost
the wall
like a
coming
tire.
out of 4. Yeah, he
that
got in the wall
look of a
coming out
tire
of 4.
going down.
I think something broke on that right front coming out of 4.
Yeah, like a tire pop. Tires will pop if you go down. I've done it in a late model, or an asphalt late model, where you run them down to 0, and they just let go. I mean, I've had it happen. So this being that tire model, that's kind of what that looked like. I mean, something else could have happened hardware-wise or something, but that really looked like a tire going down.
Yeah, that was a big shot there coming out of 4, and well, you got to think now he's a lap down, having to pit under green flag, tough break for the 69 of Ben Shepherd. But out front, we haven't really given this guy any credit here. Josh Robinson, man, 2.5 up the road from Courtney Nelson. Everything going the defending champion's way, and to be honest, John, I mean, he had won a couple races early on, but this middle part of the season, I mean, it has really tested the 23. It hasn't necessarily gone his way.
No, he just hasn't had luck fall his way here, but I think he was in a good position at Atlanta, and iRacing snafu, I think it was, kind of caused some problems for some guys. I think he might have been one of them. So, but racing ebbs and flows. I mean, it's you get hot, you get confidence, you start, have a couple issues, a couple weeks in a row, then you start pushing. It all just ebbs and flows, and that's why you do yourself a favor by just staying even keel. So when you win races, you don't go nuts about it. You lose races, you don't go nuts about it. But you want to make sure, though, you're peaking at the right time, and that's playoff time. So from here on in, this is all just bonus time for the 23. So once the playoffs start, look for these guys to ramp it up.
Gavin Adams got in the wall coming off of 4. Daniel Hill had to check up, and look who got back by him. James Hislop. I'll tell you what, I don't know if, Daniel maybe used to date James's little sister or something, but boy, oh boy. Oh, and then he drops in there, gets into Alan Wanamaker. Maybe, that's a tough break there for Alan.
That's another lead lap car.
That's a case of, I know exactly what happened there, John. And, James, we say you can race whatever you want, but he's looking in that rear view mirror. You're not worried about that car in front of you. He's worried about racing Daniel, and all of a sudden he gets into the back of Alan Wanamaker. That's exactly.
And I don't know exactly what happened there, but you know what? When your lap's down, you can race lead lap guys. That's your prerogative. But what you don't do is put your bumper to them. And I'm sure that was a mistake on his lap's part. I'm beyond certain of that. But boy, I tell you, if you're at Wanamaker, at least if I'm in that 74 car, boy, the 92 better hope I don't get back to him.
Oh, yeah, I mean, you're only 40 points to the good. Daniel Hill now trying to... I have not clicked off of this. I know you guys are watching Tom Ogle look to the inside. But Daniel Hill now, he is working to the inside of this 92. And, oh, man, Daniel going to push him up the track there in 1 and 2. He's going to get the job done. done. He didn't give James much of a choice. He said, I am done with this. And now Daniel, he's got to set those sails. He's got to try to get away.
Yeah, and he immediately starts to yard him after getting around him here.
Yeah, and that's just a tough break. But, you know, sometimes we never know what happens behind the scenes. Who knows what happened, you know, in the truck race earlier this week. But I know what is happening. And that's
exactly right. I mean, it could have been a thing where a few weeks ago maybe the roles were reversed and James was trying to get something done and Dan was blocking him. So, you know, you can't hold, you know, one to the feet to the fire and not the other. I mean, you know, and that's all fair. I mean, you race guys the way you race them, and we don't know the backstory, and then I'm not going to speculate on anything. And but yeah, I mean, that's a real deal. Honestly, that's as I say, and that's why iRacing is so popular, because people can get their competitive juices flowing, and you know, have at it.
Yep, and then go have a beer afterwards out of the fridge. that's the privilege here. And man, Tom Ogle now finds himself in the top 5. You're watching that 39 machine of Jeff Lyden. He's up 11 spots. He's had a pretty good run. A couple more right in front of him. That's Ken Allen, and then of course Alan Wanamaker, the man who we maybe fed an early snack here mid-race time. But John, we're on lap 109. We are over that halfway point. I think, you know, we're not going to see anybody do it now, and I don't think you want to do it too early because of the fact you go a lap down. Okay, never mind. I was going to say we're maybe around that time where guys can come down pit road, but you don't want to get caught a lap down. And Lushin maybe used up the tires. Feels like I got to pit now. We're seeing other guys come down too.
Yeah. I mean, Lushin's last lap was a 25, what was it, 25:01 or something like that, and that's a second and a half slower than his qualifying time, so definitely had fallen off the pace.
Surprise, surprise, your leader, Josh Robinson, elects not to come down pit road. He's going to keep leading the way. Andrew Medlin, he's got some
Where's Jerry Isaacs? Jerry Isaacs is usually the first one that come down to pit road, and the place.
You hit the nail on that. We both jinxed him, John. I jinxed him with the pit. You jinxed Isaacs. Here he comes down pit road. He is coming down, and Tom Ogle gets that pass done on Andrew Medlin. You got to think Andrew Medlin, maybe now that he loses that spot to Ogle, you see all these guys coming down pit road. He may be next, but he elects to stay out one more time at least.
And Josh Robinson, I mean, we should talk about this. He is now lapping Alan Wanamaker, and Alan Wanamaker is an 18th, so he is picking him up and laying him down, setting a blistering pace here.
Yeah, no, and our broadcaster just had on that beautiful 96. This is the battle here for if a caution comes out right now, Eric McCluskey then would be the lucky dog. So Alan Wanamaker, I know you want to take it easy. Well, now he's going to come down pit road. Maybe that's why Alan's taking it easy, going to let the guys go by, get to the inside. Making a lot more sense now.
And Josh continues to lead the way here, and he's got a couple of guys ahead of him. 17th of Jeff Lyden there, and then Kenny Allen there in 24th. So definitely field's getting strung out quite a bit, and I think I see Roger Hurley down there on pit road, along with Koska. So yeah, pit stop cycle is in full swing here.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what the times look like. You know, I mean, did it pay off to come in early? What's the track position going to look like? And Josh Robinson still stays out.
Well, he's running 24.6s, so he's not falling off like everybody else. So Josh is just doing Josh things here and taking care of his stuff. And he's able to stretch this out quite a bit. Alan Wanamaker lost 2 laps on pit road, and he pitted right after the 23 passed him. So, actually probably lost about a lap and a half on pit road. So that's a big chunk of time.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely took it easy on the end lap. I imagine some guys have come a little harder, but yeah, That's a lot of time lost. And man, a caution right now, John, would be damning for so many people.
Yeah, and Josh has gotten by Leiden now, so now there's only a dozen cars on the lead lap. So I think you said this earlier, if you play this right and somebody messes up here and brings out a caution, maybe getting a pit road, because that pit road down there is not easy how to get down there. All of a sudden, that changes everything, and there's a lot of guys that are going to be locked a lap down.
No, and this is where, you know, I don't expect them to do it. I mean, not that this is classless, but I can tell you, if I'm a guy like Victor Lane, you know, if some guy comes up on me new cold tires, John, I make him work for it. You know, maybe try to force that spin.
Slow him down.
Keep yourself, or anything, you know. You got to try to be your best friend out there. And, I mean, the only one that's going to look out for you is you. So you got to try to be aggressive at these points.
Yeah, and he just put Bill Martin a lap down, so now I do believe that's going to leave 8 cars on the lead lap. The last guy on the lead lap is going to be Dan Hill, of all people. Dan's quite a ways. Dan's quite a ways up the track. You never know, but Josh will have his work cut out to get up there.
Yeah, he's about a full straightaway. I mean, Daniel, he's going to have to get ready to go here and make sure stay on the lead lap. You don't want to get caught a lap down naturally. It's one thing to cycle through on pit stops, but man, if he goes the lap down and still has to pit, that may doom this 7. I mean, we've seen him go through a lot. I mean,
well, if I'm Dan, I might actually think about pitting now and letting him, so maybe I can get a few laps at a higher rate of speed. So maybe by the time it cycles through, I'm back in front of the 23 car.
I'm praying to whoever I believe in, if I'm out there on the racetrack, to bring me out of caution. Just give me a chance to pit under caution.
There's only 7 guys that are hoping that.
Yeah, I can tell you, though, I guarantee you 3 or 4 of them are here.
He's closing big time on Hill.
And, you know, I mean, we saw Daniel, how hard did he need to push it to get by some lap cars? You got to think maybe that did a lot of damage here to the 7. And, I mean, you mentioned, I'm watching here in a more of a zoomed out camera, TV3, but you can see Josh and Daniel on the screen here now at the same time. But Kotska and Medlin, they haven't calmed down either. And them battling side by side for this long on these new tires, they both may pay for it here at the end of this run.
Yeah, that's quite possible here.
Bill Martin.
Hill is coming to the pits.
Yeah, so Bill Martin spins in 1 and 2, goes to the inside, and parks it on the backstretch and tows it to the pits, but no caution flag. We continue. The Diet Mountain Dew machine is done, as John mentioned. Daniel Hill finally coming down pit road, and man, he really needs this thing to stay green now.
Yes, he needs to get a few laps to see if he can get back up around. But here's the problem. Robinson's still turning 24/7s. I mean, he's just barely a second over what they were. So he just passed Hill in the pits. So, man, I'm amazed at what Robinson's doing on these tires. He's 24/64 the last time through. He is really making these last, and he's lapped now all the way up to 6th place. Victor Lane is actually the next car set to go a lap down. Now there were 4. It's Greg McDaniel.
Did go that lap down.
Dwayne MacArthur just went to the pits too, so he's down in pit road. He may end up going 2 laps down before he gets back out on the track.
Courtney Nelson coming down pit road here.
MacArthur is leaving pit road right now, so yeah, he went 2 laps. He's now 2 laps down. Or no, I guess he's still a lap. Showing a lap. Well,
okay, John. Shame on me for not seeing this. But if you remember that one pit stop when Victor Lane came down pit road, that was 25 laps after the guys that are still out there right now. We've got a car spun out on the inside. out of turn 1. Is there a caution? No caution. No caution flag. It's Isaacs. We're not going to get one. But boy, oh boy, if Victor Lane, Eric McCluskey, and now, well, Jeff Lyden, he actually just came down pit road. He was the other one to pit as we're watching Isaacs. Oh, wow, he got a big shot. How is there no caution there? Oh, man, I'll tell you, that would play into the hands of Victor Lane. Oh, my gosh. I mean, there's a bunch of guys a lap down. He can stay out longer.
And those were leaders, too. I mean, if this thing was going to shake through, those are 2 top 5, top 10 guys.
Man, that is wild here. The flag just not coming out of the pocket here tonight. Tom Ogle up to P2. He's 13 seconds back of Josh Robinson, man. Josh driving into turn 3 as Tom's driving into turn 1, so half a track between those two. Still looking at the top 5 that haven't hit, and like I say,
and
2
3
of
out of the top 5. Yeah, I was about to say, go ahead.
Yeah, 2 of those guys. Well, here comes Tom Ogle. He's coming down pit road right now. But now who will be 3rd and 4th? Victor Lane and Eric McCluskey.
Here comes Robinson.
They can go longer. So if there would be a caution flag here, maybe in about 10 laps, Victor Lane and Eric McCluskey could possibly trap most of the field a lap down. And oh my gosh, wouldn't that be interesting here for Victor Lane?
Not just a lap, but a couple of laps down for most of them.
Greg McDaniel inherits the lead. You got to think he's going to, pick up a bonus point or 2 leading this lap. And he's going to be coming down pit road before too long. I wouldn't think he'd want to hang it out too far. Or maybe he's just one of the ones, John, another one just hoping for a caution. I'm going to run this thing till it's empty.
Yeah, and Isaacs, I see Isaacs getting back out on the road here, but obviously his race has gone south after all that contact, so... But Robinson's out of the pits now.
Comes out of the pits 1 lap down, which, I mean, if, obviously, if let's say a caution would come out right now, when the leaders would pit, they would get that wave around as Greg McDaniel comes down pit road. But still, I mean, Victor and Eric, they'd get a free pit stop. They'd be guaranteed 1st and 2nd here and new tires. These other guys are going to have to stay out. But we just need a little luck here for the boss man. I've never rooted for a caution publicly, John, but I am rooting for one now. Let's give Victor a break.
Yeah, Victor's on the backstretch right now, and Josh is at the flag stand. So, yeah, that's a big gap there. So he's not in danger of Victor or of Josh catching him at this point and unlapping himself. But we're going to see what happens here, after 10 laps from now.
I think when we get the update, unless my software is wrong here when we roll by, Josh actually 16 seconds off the lead. I don't think he's a lap down. I think Victor maybe been saving, maybe even saving fuel, John, to try to go the rest of the way. You never know what that 10's doing. But right now, I mean, he is in prime real estate to pick up his first top 5 of the season. I'd love to see it. Top 4 currently on the lead lap. Andrew Medlin, that first guy a lap down. But
yeah, he's about to unlap himself because
yes,
he's right behind Victor Lane here. Both he and Koska both are about to unlap themselves.
Yeah, how hungry is Koska here? You saw him. I thought he was thinking about a 3 wide there, but he thought best of it, just going to unlap himself. And man, oh man, Tom Ogle, he's going to be the next one here to try to unlap himself. But man, you got to think, John, if we go 15, 20 laps, if we get that caution, you got to think a lot of those guys who have been out probably will pit anyway. So Victor, I mean, boy, he's going to throw anything out on the track he has in that race car.
Yeah, he's in a good spot, that's for sure. And, he just got to concentrate on being clean and not worry about racing these guys on newer tires. If he starts trying to race guys on newer tires, that's honestly where he's going to probably get himself into trouble here. But Ogle is now on the lead lap, So the guys are continuing to catch him and get back on that lead lap.
He needs to be digging his fingers in that roll bar padding, John. And, you know, start just chucking pieces of roll bar out there and start
the water
complaining
bottle
about debris. Yeah, the water bottle, whatever, man. Get a big drink now, chuck it out. Because he's going to need it. Here comes his son behind him, Luke Lane. Luke is 2 laps down, so this will put him 1 lap down. Able to get by his pops. Victor in the middle of 1 and 2. The next guy who would unlap himself, Chris Bates. He's a little ways back. That'll be that 81 machine when he comes rolling on through. You can see Ryan grabbed him right here. So Victor, he's got a little bit of breathing room. You just gotta keep that thing straight, hope for the caution. But now Eric McCluskey, the driver of the 96, who was staying out there as well, he pulls down pit road. He says it's time.
Yeah, and Victor's going into turn 3 right now, and Josh Robinson, who's now second, is just coming out of turn 2, halfway down the backstretch. So that gap's definitely shrinking rapidly.
Yeah, it was 16 the last time we mentioned it. It's down to 7.5. Here is Josh crosses the line, so it's only a matter of time. And Victor lifting, going to the inside. He didn't get his caution. He's going to have to come down pit road. And now we'll see Josh Robinson creep into the picture right about now. He goes around, takes the lead back, and man, this has been a story here for the 23 of Josh Robinson. 5 seconds ahead of the general, and Dwayne MacArthur find a way to gnaw that gap down. He's got 55 laps to do it. Eric McCluskey, you can remember he was P2 when he came down pit road. This would put him, I think, 2 laps down. So definitely lost a lot of time staying out there on those old tires. Oh man, we had a checkup on the outside. The 12 of Medlin had to lift. Kotska maybe lifted too, and Tom Ogle said, excuse me.
93 just got turned into the wall. 93 just got turned right in front of the leader. Holy cow.
Patrick Martindale goes around, and I'll tell you, John, 4 laps too late for the boss man, Victor Lane. My heart goes out.
Yeah, but boy, you know, that second time we've seen the 93 car get loose coming out of the corner, and 96 had nowhere to go. But I'll tell you, the 23, he just let a big exhale out, man. That probably made him hold his breath there for a second.
Yeah, that was a big scare, and yeah, that was almost, it looked like Martindale so tight he was loose. He pushed up into the outside wall, maybe kicked off, and had to try to catch it. But tough break there. We're under caution.
And Zach, let me throw this at you real quick. 23 is catching the pace car. He just ran long on those tires, but you know, your guys, you've only got 10 guys or 12 guys on the lead lap. Dwayne MacArthur, Ogle, Koska, all those guys got a lot of laps. Do you come in and try to get fresher laps to compete with Josh, or do you stay out?
I really think I'm coming down pit road here. I mean, 50 to go. I'll come down pit road for the final time. Looks like Jerry Isaacs may be thinking about it. Josh, he's stuck out there. He's no way leader coming down pit road. Andrew Kotska maybe fishing, thinking about coming down pit road. Andrew Medlin does come down pit road. So we won't pull up Andrew Medlin. But let's go ahead. Some of the drivers, one of them that stayed out, John, who are you thinking in that top 3? You make the choice.
But how about the 83? He's the one that we got to figure out. He's got to figure out how to get around the 23. That'd probably be the question to ask, don't you think?
Yeah, go ahead. Fire away. You take the first one. He's here.
Hey, Dwayne, this is John. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
All right, man. You got, what, roughly about 50 to go? You got the 23 in front of you? How about it? What do you got?
Yeah, I think kind of depends on those new tires. Everybody just went in, but I think Josh and I pitted pretty late. See what we got. Been working through traffic all day, so it'll be nice to see what we can do in some clean air.
Do you think you can nail this restart here? Maybe get it done on the outside? I mean, we've seen a few guys go to the outside for a pass, but it seems like, man, you really got to commit to it.
Yeah, like the leader gets to go, and you have to react to him. So he typically gets a jump. So it's pretty hard to from the outside of the first row to make a move there. But I'll give it a shot. I mean, there's some wheel spin, so he could get overzealous.
Well, hey,
Real
man,
quick,
hold
on, last question. You've got a Team Miata in front of you and Team Miata behind you. So any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I'm living a nightmare right now.
Here, we'll get to talk to you a little later on.
Yeah, hope you're enjoying the show.
We are. Thank you. For those of you that didn't see the podcast with Dwayne on there, go out there, find it, watch it. Friendly rivalry between the two teams, especially Dwayne came on the show actually wearing a Tom Ogle Auto shirt, so cool stuff there, cool backstory. This is gonna be fun.
Well, that's awesome. I may have to fish myself a Tom Ogle autograph before the end of this season.
Yeah, I want one of those shirts Dwayne had. I want an Ogle. I want one of those Ogle shirts for sure. But I'll probably have to reach out to him, probably beg him, send him some money, something. But yeah, cool. Oh, and they extended the green or the caution. It looks like
we should start the Ogle Army. You know, we'll trademark it right now, and you know, we'll come out with T-shirts. We'll force Tom to sign every one of them, and I think it sounds like a good plan.
Well, some other stories we've got going on here. Remember when you rode off the 7? Take a peek where he's sitting.
It's unbelievable. I'm never going to speak ill of the 7 ever again.
Hey.
Maybe he wants me to, because every time I do, he just drives that thing right back on up there, man.
Yeah, well, you know, the funny thing is on the podcast today, we were talking about drivers that get irritated. You know, some of them get a little reckless, but some of them out there go faster. I'm starting to think the 7, when he gets a little irritated, look out. He becomes a rocket ship.
No, and this, you know, it only being a mile racetrack, this is right to that point where obviously you don't want to push the tires too hard here, but man, it's go time. You want to get spots while you can, and that's gonna help that 7 out. Get up front of the guy, then worry about blocking him. But the hardest part gonna be passing him, and should have. Well, we're 50 to go right now, so we'll have 49 to go. When
so
we
real quick,
drop
who
that
do you
hammer.
got? Who do you got? In other words, who do you want to jinx? Who do you got?
Man, I'd love to root for Greg McDaniel on the outside to get this thing, but I just don't know if anybody's going to get Josh. I'd have to pick Josh here. We'll have to see. They're rolling out a 4. Final time. Let's see. Does Josh Robinson spin the tires? Nope. Absolutely nails it. And
the 55 spins the tires and goes into the wall on the outside. The 65.
65 of David Brand, and that's a guy who I don't believe came down pit road for the new tires.
Yeah, he lit them up, and the car just nosed right into the wall.
And, you know, that kind of allowed some of the guys, John, who did come down pit road, Andrew Kotska, Andrew Medlin, I mean, they got some free spots there off that bad start, and here they come with the new tires. Kotska drove by Daniel Hill like he was sitting still, and now Kotska has his eyes set on Greg McDaniel.
Yeah, I think that new tires may have been the way to go. I mean, that's what I would have done, but you know, this is why I don't race these things that often. Me and pit strategy usually don't go too well together.
Yeah, it's so hard to get out of the lead when you're up front, but man, you know, you gotta almost be playing the long game. Think about your equipment. Andrew Kotska always does that, puts himself in prime real estate. Look into the outside of Greg McDaniel and Andrew Medlin. Can't tell why, but Medlin having to come down pit road. Tough break there for Andrew Medlin.
He had a black flag, so I'm wondering if he got caught speeding on pit road.
Or possibly when the car spun the tires, did he go to the inside and advance his position?
That's maybe what happened. That is a tough break. Oh.
And you see he's just, well, you guys don't see it, but he's pulling off a pit road right now. He is a lap down, even doing the pass-through penalty. So tough break here as Tom Ogle takes a peek under the general, Dwayne MacArthur. They both see the guy with the new shoes right behind him. And man, it is go time.
Yeah, Ogle, we need to point out from the back all the way up here to the front. Good run for him today, and boy, I tell you, that 23, I think he hit the nail on the head. He is going to be tough I think, track down.
Yeah, I mean, even with the old tires, he's still kind of driving away. I mean, here at Kotska, he's going to try to reel him in, but Ogle won't make it easy. And
no.
Man, oh man, this is, John, we are setting ourselves up for maybe one of the best finishes of the season.
Yeah, 100% here, and these top cars from second on back right now, it's time for the eyeball test to see if that 11 can start reeling in that 23 car.
And obviously we're not rooting for another caution, but Victor Lane is. He'd be the lucky dog right now. Ken Allen, that's the battle for the lucky dog. But right now, John, only 12 cars on the lead lap after those green flag pit stops. And man, that really shook it up. Everyone doing a green flag pit stop, absolutely everyone cycled. Victor got caught by about 4 laps, but man, that's if you're going to have a caution, that's kind of when you want it. Not really going to affect the outcome of the race, but a good shake-up.
Yeah, 100%.
Then I say it won't affect the outcome of the race, and then I start to think, well, Kotska, maybe he was about 14 seconds back. Maybe he wouldn't have been able to run down Josh Robinson. And now with these new tires, he's going to have to try. But you mentioned, John, earlier, you know, the higher up the list you get, the more difficult the passes get. Andrew Kotska hasn't really been able to flex those new tires now since getting to the back of Tom Ogle. Tom maybe saved a little in the tank. Those two are reeling in the leader, Josh Robinson.
They are, and you know, the thing is too, if you go out there long enough on those new tires, it kind of equalizes with what those other guys have, so you're going to lose that edge. But I'll tell you, a little bit further back here, Foltz and Chris Bates are kind of swapping positions, but we got to give a shout out to the 77. He's the one trying to earn his way in on points, and I told you that he's been pretty competitive here and putting some good finishes together. And once again, he's solidly in the top 10 here.
Yeah, and I mean, being able to keep up with the General and Daniel Hill, he's clearly got some pace. Maybe even thinking about making a move to the inside of the 83 here. Can't do it just yet.
Oh, 83 into the wall.
Man, the General absolutely fighting that race car right now. But you're stuck between a rock and a hard place, John. You stayed out there. You didn't get those new tires. You get frustrated with the guys start passing you, and man, you can't really answer back.
No, but I talked about the tires equalizing. You give it a few laps, and he may start going forward again. As everybody kind of gets more on an even playing field. But going back up to the front, though, you were talking about them closing up on Josh, and they are, but they've kind of stalled out a little bit. I haven't seen any big swings, chips coming out of that lead in a while.
Yeah, which really surprises me, especially out of Kotska. I thought, if the tires were there, he'd pull it out and deliver, but maybe it just shows that Josh, I mean, he is right there on that limit every lap, not abusing the tires, but getting all that he can out of them. And man, oh man, this is not going to be easy. But we did mention earlier that 77 of Roger Hurley. The quick note on him, he is the next guy with the 4 fresh tires behind Andrew Kotska. So Roger Hurley, another one, maybe not done here as the tires start to age a little more. I mean, he's got to have the handle on that race car.
Yeah, definitely has an advantage to see if he can get some use out of that. But yeah, I see Josh now starting to kind of pull back away out front here. So I don't know if that was a matter of Josh looking up in his mirror, thinking, hey, I'm going to take it easy here for a little bit, save my stuff. Yeah, they're going to get closer, but when they get to a certain point, I'm going to put my foot back into it a little bit.
Yeah, been very interesting to watch because, I mean, as you mentioned, Josh quicker than the two behind him, well, quicker than everyone on the racetrack the last 2 laps. And man, man, oh man, it is unbelievable. The way that guy, I mean, it's easy to sit here and talk about. I mean, I basically said it last couple of minutes ago, John, but I don't know how you find that limit to where you get that speed out of the tire, but you don't abuse it. It's there for you the whole run. And that is, man, that's a work of art, what he's doing tonight.
Yeah, it sure is. And it's not even that he's getting the most out of them, but he's getting the most out of them with incredible pace. I mean, heck, you can drive around the middle of the pack and run half the lap time and, get that accomplished. But, man, he's running, leader pace and doing it. That's what's really, truly remarkable.
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing, like you said, to go park yourself in the middle and kind of just make sure you have tire for the end, but to set the pace of everybody in that rearview mirror, man, work by lap traffic, it's unbelievable what he's doing right now. We're seeing Bill Martin look to the inside of loop lane. Now Christian Lushin here trying to get a run on David Braun. That's for, right now, Lushin is that final car on the lead lap. He's in 12th, but this would be the battle for 11th. Braun, though, with a little bit of a cut down. Lushin loses the nose on that front end, pushes up the racetrack. He's got to lift out of it. Now Andrew Medlin, we saw him, he served that black flag. He's trying to make sure he gets that first car on the lead lap, but got a little bit of a ways to go. He's got Victor Lane, Ken Allen, and Alan Wanamaker in front of him if he wants to get in that lucky dog spot.
Well, we are getting down to it. We've crossed 170 laps down, and man, I tell you, the second half of this race has gone by quick.
Yeah, and John, just to poke the bear here, if we get a caution, if you got a set of tires, do you come in and use them, or have we maybe seen that if you can save them, that track position's king?
If I'm in the back half of the top 10, I use them. Up front, I don't know. I don't even know if new tires are going to make a difference trying to get around that 23 car. That's how strong he's been.
Andrew Kotska, it's taken him a while, but he's finally to the back of that 11 of Tom Ogle. We may have a battle here for second as we cross the line, this time coming out of 26 laps to go. Kotska, he's left a little bit of sand in that hourglass, but man, it is starting to drain out. Look at Ogle. Look at all the room Ogle give him. Were you a little surprised by that?
Yeah. This late in the race, I sure was. But Tom's also smart. If you start making guys take chances to get around you, if you're holding them up, you gotta own the responsibility if you get turned, because it's like, hey, you're forcing guys to take chances, and I mean, that to me, maybe a smart play there for the 11 car, because Kotska got around him and immediately started to pull away from him.
And I mentioned how nice it would be to see that one of Greg McDaniel win here, and all of a sudden, he kind of reeled in those two in front of him. I mean, he's inching closer to Tom Ogle. That Cartoon Network machine may be going to park this thing on the podium. I think Greg's only had one podium this year. He's got to get hungry here.
You just like the Cartoon Network car.
I do. I really do. It's definitely one of my favorite paints. I can't remember if I got to talk to him in an interview about it or if it was a mid-race interview, but I do remember talking to Greg one time this season, and of course I mentioned that paint job. This is the battle, though, for the lucky dog here, John. If we would get a caution, Ken Allen trying to take a peek under Victor Lane, and then right behind him, Alan Wanamaker. So those three in a tight battle for that lucky dog.
Yeah, that's a critical spot, too, to be in. If something does come out late, you can get right back in here and get a top 10 pretty easily, because you most definitely will take pits. But, boy, a little loose there for Allen, and that's going to give Wanamaker a look here to the inside. Oh, and Courtney Nelson is there, too.
And Allen.
Courtney's a few laps down, though.
So you think here Courtney probably won't flex the muscles too much here. We've seen that out of Courtney. He will just fall in line kind of when he needs to. But, and speaking of falling in line, that is what the rest of the field did behind Josh. Andrew Kotska, new tires, last time by, still slower than your leader. I mean, Josh Robinson, he is cooking.
Yeah, I really thought Koska might start reeling Josh in a little bit, and that's just not happened. But now Josh has got lap cars in front of him, so maybe that'll slow him down enough to maybe let Koska reel him in a bit. But only a couple, 2-3 cars, and they're getting way up out of the way, so they're not going to slow Robinson down a whole lot, I'm guessing.
No, Martindale got way up out of the way. I think his spin in front of Josh once tonight was enough. He wanted to make sure he let him go by, but Alan Wanamaker gets a little loose here. Now, Ken Allen thought about making the move. Can't do it. Here comes Andrew Medlin. Andrew Medlin, remember, he needs this. He had that penalty. He had to come down pit road. He is in this battle for the lucky dog. Medlin trying to get to the back of the 74 of Wanamaker here, but the problem is, you know, if you're Medlin, John, you can't really slot up in front of that 74. He's close to the back of Victor Lane, so you almost got to get a twofer here.
Here goes 74. He's to the inside now. But can he get the power down? Here's the thing, though. Can he get the power down coming out of 4? Oh, and Lane gets into the wall, and they wreck. There's your caution.
And now
Medlin needs to, at the end of this race, go buy a lottery ticket.
As long as Medlin didn't get any incident points in that, which means he didn't brush the wall by accident, get bumped from that car behind him. But I'm seeing a little.
Oh, he might have. Yeah, he might have gotten a little bit. Oh.
Yeah, let's see here. Get a good overview.
It's tough to tell.
Oh no, that was a brake lockup. But did he get a shot from the 47?
Yeah, it's the 40. Yeah, it's the 47. The contact between the 12 and 47, I'd be concerned about.
Well, I'll tell you who wants them to have touched. Luke
But
Lane.
you know what? But here's the deal. You know just as well as I do, you can get an incident point without touching. But hey, Ogle, everybody's going down pit road. Ogle, everybody is.
Andrew Kotzka did. Andrew Kotzka stayed out. Dwayne MacArthur stayed out. Roger Hurley stayed out. Oh my gosh.
15
it
laps.
Just got interesting
laps.
here in Dover.
Yeah, 14 laps will be to go here, but I'm waiting to see if that 12 gets a wave around.
Oh, and John, I didn't even think about it. You know, screw that lottery ticket. Just right under the front stretch.
Oh,
go to the
he
casino.
didn't get it. He didn't get it. Luke Lane is driving around the outside of everybody getting the flucky dog.
Yep, after the contact, Luke Lane, the guy who I said wanted him to touch. Oh, this is what Luke needed. I'll tell you, because you've mentioned it so many times.
Yeah.
John, Roger Hurley is answering the bell. I mean, if this race ends right now, he is in third place. So Luke needed this break. What a timely break.
Yeah, he just leapfrogged 2 guys.
Well, 4, really. 2 guys battling for the lucky dog wreck each other.
That's true.
2 make contact. I mean, that couldn't. Merry Christmas for Luke Lane.
That was an efficient way to get around him there. Didn't have to use up your stuff, and yeah. And I think Luke's going to be able to pit too and stay on the lead lap, so that's kind of like a double bonus for him.
Yeah, he'll be able to come down this time. I mean, I believe Lucky Dog, right, John, has to be at the tail end anyway.
Yeah, he's got to go. Yep, he's got to go all the way to the tail. So getting up and maybe gathering any more spots is going to be difficult. Oh, he didn't go down pit road. I wonder why he didn't go down pit road.
Yeah, I would have thought maybe he'd come down pit road for that tire advantage, you know, just try to pick up anybody you can, because obviously the guys in front of him here, John, they just came down pit road. I mean, that's why they're...
Yeah, but he's going to have a lot of lap cars between the 2 of them, because I think he has to go to the tail end of the lead lap as a lucky dog. Yeah.
The guys, they're going to try to line it up here. Hopefully they can do it. I know they don't want to extend this here and have to lose another green flag lap, but you see a lot of organizational issues. You know, it happens quick. iRacing tells you where to go this final time. Drivers trying to line up, lights stay off, so they're gonna try to get it up going, get it fired. Andrew Kotska leading us to the green flag for the
This
first
is not
time.
good.
And man, we're going to have a lucky number 13 lap shootout. What is going to happen here in Dover, Delaware as the drivers roll off of 4? Green flag waves. We're back underway.
Oh, Kotska!
Kotska spins
Chris
the
Bates!
tires.
Oh, and it collects Robinson. Robinson was in it.
Caution, flag waves, and now lucky
Oh,
Luke Lane. I'll tell you what, now he gets back up with the pack. He can pit if he wants.
lucky. Where was Hurley? Hurley might be leading this thing.
Oh, that. Chris Bates loses it in front of Robinson.
If Hurley wins, it doesn't matter. He's in, and that knocks Luke out.
Well, I'm going to be honest here, John. I don't know how this works. And the thing that scared me here with that restart, I really don't know. But do you think there's a chance MacArthur got a black flag with starting in the top lane, Kotska getting loose and then diving low before
no. But you know what? Roger Hurley got a black flag. He is showing, if you look at the entries, he is showing black flag. He and Christian Lotion. Roger Hurley might have to take a drive-through for passing there.
That's a tough break. And man, that's one where obviously, they don't want to change the rules. You can't do that. You can't do it.
You wish iRacing would get that part figured out. Yeah, here comes Hurley. He's going to have to relinquish that spot.
Oh, man. And, John, I hate to burst his bubble, but this isn't going to count. I don't think under caution. He's going to have to serve this under green flag. So, the
only thing this will help him, he doesn't have to risk getting run over trying to get getting to pit road with all those cars. But yeah, I don't think that is going to count either. But now here's the question. That happened all so fast, but I'm looking at the nose of Robinson. His car looks intact. That's going to put, Kotska and MacArthur, and you got to figure MacArthur's probably going to get a great start here because you have to think Kotska, he's going to be a little gun shy about pulling the trigger on that gas pedal once we go green again. But Sean Foltz is running third.
Yeah, and he's one of those guys probably in the points already. I think he's sitting around 11. Yeah. He's got a nice gap, but man, a win. That could mean, you get those bonus points in the playoffs, John. That could be the difference between advancing out of the first round. So, got to go for those points when you can. But man, I don't know what to say here. This could go. Pull your crystal ball out, John. This could go any way after we've seen guys struggle in the restarts on the hot track.
I'll make a prediction. Chaos. I feel it. I think we're going to see a little bit of chaos here at the end. A lot of crazy stuff. Now, I don't think anything like dirty or anything like that. I just think you're going to see guys pushing the upper limits of their abilities here these last few laps here. Not only pushing the upper limits of their abilities, but the car's abilities too, because these guys, these tires and the 100 and some odd degree track temp. Oh man.
Now remember, keep an eye on Lushin and Hurley here. They still both have their black flags. So Lushin gonna have to serve a black flag here. As we roll through 3 and 4 for the final time here, we're gonna have a 9-lap shootout. Can we hold it together here as we roll off of 4? Dwayne MacArthur now his first restart of the night. He launches, good jump there for the general. Everybody looks safe behind, and we're back underway. Lushin there almost on the outside, 3 wide. He's going to have to find a way to get that thing to the bottom. He does. Sean Foltz taking it easy on the bottom in that 59.
Here comes Lushin. He got down to the bottom.
Down there now. Once he hits pit road, he needs the caution flag to fly to save his behind here. We'll have to see Tom Ogle making a move on the 59 of Sean Foltz to get back inside the top 5. Quick work there for the 11. He knows he's running out of time, and the general, Dwayne MacArthur, he's loving this, John. 7 laps to go this time by.
Yeah, look at Robinson, P4. He is slicing and dicing.
And he doesn't mean the vacuum. He is rolling through these guys.
Oh, look at that run.
Greg McDaniel, the Cartoon Network machine underneath Andrew Kotska. And this means Josh Robinson, well, now he's got somewhere to go. It looks underneath Kotska, maybe roasted those tires, trying to get him to the lead that last run. Look at Josh Robinson now making a move here for second. Greg McDaniel drives up the hill. Kotska gets in the wall behind him. Josh Robinson finishes the pass. He's up to P2, and he has 5 laps to get to the back of that 83 this time by.
Oh, 83 got a little loose there out of turn 2, or out of turn 4, but is able to stay with it. Boy, you know, remember though, he's got fresher tires in that 83, so that 83 I think is in a world of trouble right now.
That 83, if anyone was wondering, is on the oldest tires out of anyone on the lead lap. Hasn't pit since lap 126. Everyone else 148 or later. Josh Robinson gets hooked. He goes around off the nose of McDaniel. He locks up the brakes. Caution flag flies. But
MacArthur threw a big block on the 23. And, well, I told you. Yeah.
Yeah, Robinson, he, you know, maybe heard clear left, but I can tell you that spotter, he's going to need a new job.
Yeah, I think his timing got thrown off because the 83 put a big block, huge block on the 23 there. And I think the 23 actually tried to move over to not run over the 83 and it had an issue there with the 1. So, you know, that is just, I'm going to be honest with you, that is just really hard focused racing with, you know, 3 or 4 laps to go with some leaders there.
And now, man, you know, looking at this from the in-car, it's definitely a racing incident, but you kind of see Greg float up a little bit and maybe get a little bit of that iRacing net code, and then Josh comes down. And, you know, I mean, John, you couldn't have said any better. I mean, that's just what do you want? There's not a lot of laps to go. You're going to race hard, and, you know, you got to try to do what you can do. But, John, looky who, I mean, that is...
Roger Hurley disconnected.
Yes, he
That's
did.
Big.
He maybe saw what was happening. Maybe saw that Luke Lane is up to 10th. And now he'll have some fresh tires, man. Luke, or no, actually, Luke hasn't pitted since lap 144. But what could have been a terrible night has just turned into quite the recovery for that 21.
Yeah, absolutely. Same thing for the 7. But going back to that incident, I think, you know, I've looked at it now a couple times, you know, and I use the word block. I don't know if I'd go as far as saying blocking with the 83, but what I did see is he kind of moved up the track a little bit. And I do think that caught the 23 a little bit out. I don't think he expected the 83 to move all the way out to the wall like that quite much. So, but nonetheless, this green-white checkered is going to be something. You've got the 11 that's going to start on the inside. He's got fresh tires. You've got the 83. He's got the old tires. You got the Cartoon Network car. You know, Greg McDaniel going to be on probably the outside. And then you've got Dan Hill, who early on was the quickest behind Robinson in the field. So, lights are out.
Greg McDaniel, John, 17th, 18th, 19th, 21st in points. Go get this thing done.
Yeah, my foot, I don't lift through 1 and 2 here on this start. I send it.
No, I maybe start the race too and just hope that I absolutely nailed the restart time and just try to put all the chips in my corner because, I mean, the general, we call him that for a reason. I mean, I believe, 5 wins this season is your current point leader. I mean, you got to go get this if you're Greg. You got to punch your ticket here to the playoffs.
Yeah, you do, and I mean this is it. And the lights are on the pace car. I thought the lights went off, but I guess they turned them back on.
Yeah, they turned them back on to, I guess, reline them up. And you know, NASCAR, obviously, we run a lot of the same thing. NASCAR, they'll go unlimited green, white checkered attempts. Not here. You get one. So if anybody's naughty on this first lap here, it'll be the only shot, and whoever is out front at the time of the caution will get the win. So hopefully we get this thing, we get to see these final 2 laps. But man, with the way we've seen restarts, nothing would surprise me here, John. And your crystal ball was right once again.
Well, I'm going to tell you, I don't think they're done yet. I think you're going to see some wild stuff here. That top 4, yeah, you got McDaniel that needs a win, and you know, and the other 3 have got wins. But in the same token, you know, that 65 is sitting down there in 5th too, and I don't think he has a win this season either.
No, he does not. So I mean, anything could happen here, and you gotta really expect anything to happen. I mean, guys gotta be aggressive. You gotta go try to get it. I mean, Wayne Hufford, he's a little bit ways back there, row 4, but he's another one looking for a first win. So we have some guys up here definitely hungry. Luke Lane on the outside of row 5. Can Luke maybe find a way to get up onto this podium? We're about to find out. 2 miles left here in Delaware. Let's see what they do. The general rolls into the Geico restart zone. He drops that hammer. Greg McDaniel.
Bends the tires.
It's a good, yeah, but so did Tom Ogle on the inside, so he's able to get down there, shut the door.
Look at Hill. Look at McDaniel and Hill on the top side.
Greg McDaniel, come on, I'm not supposed to do this, but go get him, Greg. He's got a big run coming out of 2. What can he do? Tom Ogle looks to the
3
inside.
wide almost.
3. We're almost 3 wide. Craig McDaniel looking for his first win on the outside. We got a battle for the lead. White flag in the air.
Oh, McDaniel's got it in there.
McDaniel, he's got a powerhouse on the outside. Look at that Cartoon Network machine rolling. Dwayne MacArthur's floats up, tries to get some side draft. We enter 3 for the final time. Greg McDaniel with a big run through 3 and 4. Hammered down. Greg McDaniel to the playoffs here in Dover, Delaware. He wins. What a showstopper, man. Daniel Hill P2 and Dwayne MacArthur. He's on the podium once again, but he's kicked down to 3rd.
Luke Lane is heartbroken right now. Worked his heart out to get back up in that top 10. That just bumped Luke out of the playoffs.
Yes, it did. And oh man, I was speaking to our producer tonight before this thing started. I said, dude, this could be the place, man. Guys like Alan Wanamaker and them, they better be worried we could get a first-time winner. And lo and behold, man, Greg McDaniel pulls it out. I have to catch my breath now,
yeah,
along with these drivers.
You need some oxygen.
Yes, I do. Oh my gosh, we're gonna step away here for a minute. Let Greg celebrate a little bit, do some donuts. We'll be back with interviews from the top 3 and a full rundown. Stick around here on the Virtual Grid Network. Man, I am still catching my breath. We are back live on the Virtual Grip Network, and I can tell you what, if you haven't watched the end of that race, hit stop right now. Go rewind, because that was the race of the year. Maybe a little recency bias, but man, oh man, what a finish. Dover, Delaware never disappoints. And John, I mean, what more could we have asked for? Some unfortunate mistakes, for some people, maybe some costly black flags, but man, it led to, I'm telling you, probably the best finish of the year.
Well, as somebody that's partial to short track racing, and this is kind of a super speedway short track, it's only a mile. Good stuff here. I mean, those last, 10, maybe even the last probably about 15 laps were probably some of the best you're going to see anywhere, any series, anytime. And when I say any, I mean iRacing, I mean real life. I don't care what it is on the track. That is some of the best you're going to see as far as drama and intensity that you're going to see anywhere. So that was a pleasure to watch for sure.
Well, let's go ahead. Let's take a look here at this final rundown. And man, oh man, first time this season, Greg McDaniel crosses the charity stripe for Heath Trashman Daniel Hill with a power move on the outside of Dwayne MacArthur. 1 lap to go. That's your top 3. Tom Ogle 4th, David Brand 5th, Andrew Kotska 6th, Sean Fultz 7th, Wayne Hufford 8th, Chris Bates 9th, and Andrew Medlin. After he had an up and down race too, John. That's another guy I forgot about. I mean, he was a lap down at one point, got the lucky dog. Yep. Good recovery for Andrew Medlin.
He also had a late black flag, I think, too. So, yeah, very good race for Andrew there. First one with the double digit, not the triple there. So, made a difference for him, definitely, being able to qualify. Finishing 11th, and this is a guy that you got to almost feel just completely feel for. He's worked pretty hard to maintain being in the chase there, and got bumped out with that win by McDaniel. But nonetheless, so Luke had a pretty strong race here. He finishes 11th. Kenny Allen 12th. 13th is Brian Lynch. 14th will be Christian Lushin. Andy Thomas, who I believe may be next week's guest on the podcast. He comes home 15th. Tom Massey finishes 16th. Courtney Nelson 17th. Torrance Childs 18th. William Martin is going to come home 19th. And James Hislop will round out your top 20.
Eric McCluskey, man, he was one of those with Victor Lane who tried to make that strategy work, but just couple laps short, missed it, comes home 5 laps down, 21st. Jeff Lyden 22nd. Josh Robinson 23rd after leading most of the race. Jerry Isaacs 24th. Crisco coming home 25th. Roger Hurley with probably the heartbreak of the night, and you got a feel for that 77, coming home 26th. Patrick Martindale 27th. Victor Lane 28th. Alan Wanamaker 29th. And Gavin Adams rounds out the top 30.
Canadian Scott Negus is going to come home 31st. Ben Shepard will come home 32nd. 33rd is Lee Wardsell. John Paris will come home 34th. Nicholas Self 35th. Kevin Masur 36th, or Kevin Mosier, sorry, 36th. Mark Fish, Daytona winner, 37th. Clay Walker 38th, and rounding out your field in the 00, that's going to be Lloyd Moore.
Let's go ahead. I mean, we gave him enough time. Let's talk to the man who brought home P3, Dwayne MacArthur. Dwayne, Shaggy up in the booth, man. You got a copy?
Buddy, how you doing?
I'll tell you, man, you talked to me a little earlier than you're used to. Got to go first tonight, but with those old tires, bringing home a P3, man, you got to feel pretty good about it. Talk to us about the race.
Yeah, it was a weird race. I kept waiting for a long run and probably gave up too much track position all race long, and then I don't know, kind of came around at the end. Stayed out. I had another set of tires. I could have come. I saw Andrew stayed. I figured there was enough guys between us, and I guess it would have been Josh coming out as the leader. 7 or 8 guys. I thought we could run away, but then a bunch of cautions. So very interesting. Very dramatic.
You know, I don't know all of your personal relationships, but obviously, Dwayne, you stood up on that top step 5 times this season. You're the man right now. You're the point leader. Is that maybe going through your head? You know that guy on the outside of you, he needs his first win. I mean, it looked like he was driving that thing hammer down. He was trying to outmuscle you. I mean, how aware are you of that while you're out there in the car?
I mean, so Greg beside me and Tom was in my mirror, and I think Andrew was in my mirror. Josh at one point, they all had way better tires. Like once we were doing those, once they were there for that final restart, I pretty much knew that the best I could do was hang on to maybe a second or third. My priority was on, not sliding up and taking out the 1 or hitting the 11. I thought the 11 was going to stick it low, maybe 3 wide. So I was getting prepared to be run over, and I was just trying not to ruin anybody else's night and salvage a finish.
Well, hey, man, next week we go to arguably the only racetrack on the NASCAR schedule with 4 actual turns. Are you excited to roll into Indy next week?
The 83 won't be at Indy next week. We don't have enough gas to get to Indianapolis, enough fuel, and we're short on tires, so we'll be off for a week.
Well, hey, you built yourself quite the gap with that 5 wins so far this season. Congratulations on another podium, Dwayne. You look good tonight, man. Just wasn't in the cards. Got anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, just thanks to everybody here, all the admins, keep it running, all of our sponsors, of course, the serious sponsor here, YesterYear Racing. Thanks to everybody. I know that Robinson was class of the field there, and it looks like he got turned. Probably deserved that race. So that's shitty luck. Hate to see that happen to anybody. And hopefully we put on. Hopefully it was a good show. I don't know. I kind of ran by myself all night, so hopefully we put on a show. And thanks to everybody.
Well, hey, congratulations on a good run, Dwayne. Look forward to talking to you here in 2 weeks, man. Enjoy the vacation.
Yeah, you bet. Take care.
Dwayne MacArthur bringing home P3, and now my partner's got the man who brought home P2.
Yeah, I do, and kind of making this a habit, Daniel. How many times this year have you and I talked here after you get a runner up here? And man, what a finish, though. Let's not dwell on the second places, but let's talk about the finish of that race. Did you need an extra lane? Would that have helped maybe propel you out there to the lead?
I mean, I think I could have made it happen on the top side, but the problem is that, Greg was up there as I was entering, and I wanted to carry more speed so I could really wrap the top. And I think if I had the space, I could have made it work, but it was just too congested. It would have been real hard to pull off 3 wide, and I wasn't about to try that.
Yeah, well, I was looking at the marbles up there. I thought for sure because it looked like you were thinking about it, in all honesty, going up there and running the boards. And I was like, oh boy, that's going to be interesting. But that last restart, the guy, one of y'all needed a win to get in the playoffs. The other 3 of y'all had wins. What was your thought process when you knew the one guy out of the bunch there who ended up winning there, Greg, but he was going to be desperate to win. So how do you approach that, and what did you think about that?
Well, I don't know any other way but to go for a win, and I'm going to race hard. I'm going to race it. I'm going to race him hard every time, and I'm going to take chances because I mean honestly, it's really hard to win in this league, and and I'm one of the few people in here that I'll stick my car some places that a lot of people won't, but I'll do it because I know to beat Josh, Dwayne, Tom, Andrew, Courtney, all those guys. I mean, you have to run the perfect race, and then on top of that, you got to be willing to do something that they may not be willing to do to make it work. And I'm aggressive. I was hoping I get one of them would have gotten a better restart, so I could have cleared one of the 2 guys on older tires. But it worked out perfectly for them because it kind of kept me and Tom bottled behind them until the final lap. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to tell you, you guys made my poor partner here, Zach, hyperventilate on the air. So go back and watch it. It was a heck of a finish. Anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Like always, everybody over at Team Miata, Josh, Tom, Brian Lynch, Mark Fish, all those guys. We share a lot of information back and forth. Help make each other better. Shout out to all the admins for all the hard work that they do. You guys for once again the amazing broadcast and the podcast you guys put on. It's outstanding. Those interviews are just killer, man. And shout out to our sponsors too. All the sponsors that make this league be able to stay around. And it's awesome. And I wouldn't want to race any other place.
Well, you guys put on a heck of a show. We look forward to seeing you at Indy next week.
Oh yeah, let's go.
All right, man. Well, good luck next week, and hopefully we talk to you when you're one spot higher on the podium this time. So that's Dan Hill, our second place finisher, and Zach. I think you probably caught up with a pretty excited driver there in the number one car.
Winner, chicken dinner. Welcome to the playoffs, Greg McDaniel. How we feeling, brother?
Well, actually, I don't know. You might be talking about this at the start of next week, because the caution before all this happened, I think I probably owe Josh an apology, and I'll be typing him one after I leave you guys here. That last caution, my goal was I was able to kind of cross him up, and he was behind Dwayne, and my goal was to use Dwayne as a pick to get back by him for the lead, and I've had a chance to watch the replay now, and I think I'm the one that initiated the contact, so I should have taken an SPP, and I wouldn't have been a player there at the end. So I'm sure I'm one of the admins, but I haven't been to the admin room yet, so I don't know what's going on with that. But all that happiness and everything's, I think I should use this opportunity to apologize to Josh and take blame for it, and whatever my penalty winds up being, my penalty winds up being.
Yeah, I mean, and as much as I respect that, Greg, while my partner John was doing some interviews here, I was trying to look at it a little bit of myself. And, you're definitely getting that run off the corner, but it almost seems like, the 83 throws a block on Josh, and maybe we get a quick little lift out of the throttle, just wants to fall in line. And you're there, you're right underneath him with that run. That's just tough racing at Dover. So hopefully, man, I'm really hoping they keep that win for you, because I know you're going to kick yourself, but man, that could have happened to anybody. And don't let that haunt an amazing move that you had with a lap and a half to go, man. What's on your mind? It looked like you were just full throttle around the outside. That was a power move, Greg.
Well, even the restart before, a bunch of us had a set of tires left and other guys didn't, and I think one or two guys chose not to take tires they had left. So before the first caution, actually after everybody pitted, I was the second car with fresh tires, and then Josh got caught up in that first restart mess. And so I was the lead car with fresh tires, and then the thing that happened between Josh and I happened, and then for that last green white checker, I was Dwayne did not have new tires, so I was the highest car with new tires, and I just figured within 2 laps I could get around Dwayne on the outside because my tires were 15 laps newer.
Well, man, it proved to work, and like I say, Greg, I know you're going to be thinking about that for a while, man, but you got to shake that off. I've watched you race all season. That's not who you are. In fact, I've seen you lose many spots when you maybe could have been a little aggressive. You smelt the blood tonight, and being the shark, you had to go get it. Congratulations on your first win. Welcome to the playoffs as far as I'm concerned. You got anybody you want to thank before you get out of here, Greg?
I'll thank my girlfriend Sharon for always letting me do this. My friend Dave that watches me from back in Oregon. I live in Nebraska. My high school friend likes watching these, has been watching them for the last 3 or 4 seasons. So hello to Dave. Our league sponsors, our league admins, and my teammates on Last Ditch Racing. And once again, it's not like I cleaned them out inside the car. I thought it was probably 30% chance it was my fault, but I owe an apology to Josh. My feeling is I ruined his race, and I'll own up to it and tell him I'm sorry.
Well, you like to say, respect that, Greg. Sometimes that's the way it goes, and being the defending champion, I'm sure been on the other side of that once or twice too. So that's just the way of racing. But congratulations, and man, good luck next week in Indianapolis.
Thanks, guys, and thank you to you guys too for the great job you do. I love watching these things, even on the weeks I don't make it. I watch them. So thanks, guys.
Oh yeah, speaking of, man, I probably shouldn't even tell you this, but I definitely was rooting for you. Love that Cartoon Network machine. You got to listen to that final call. I think I almost passed out, but once again, man, congratulations.
All right, thanks, Zach.
Greg McDaniel getting it done here at Dover, and you know, John, I mean, I respect him for that. I really do. I've gotten a few looks, but man, that really is racing, and man, I hope they don't take that away.
Yeah, I really honestly, because initially when I thought, oh, the 83 moved up there to block, but then when I kind of went back, I looked at it, and that was just nothing more than racing. MacArthur kind of moved up a little bit. I think Josh probably misjudged just a little bit about how much he had to kind of lift to not get into the back of the 83, and you know, you've got to notice you at that point, everything on the line, you're racing so hard, you're so hyper focused. You know, you'll hear me talk about knowing what's, you know, situational awareness, what's going around the four corners of your car. But when you get down to that end, you are focused so much on what's right in front of you. You know, like I said, to me, that whole thing, honest to God, that was a racing, at least in my opinion. That was just a bam, bam, bam racing deal there. And, you know, it's nice to see somebody that'll actually care enough that they worry about their competitors. And that's, you know, we should speak to that. And that's kind of what makes the OBRL what it is. I mean, you know, the guys really, they do take care of each other out on the track. I mean, is there a little pushing and shoving from now, you know, and little disagreements over space every now and again too? Oh, sure there are. But you know what, at the end of the day, everybody does try to look out for each other to an extent, and that is just fantastic to see.
Well, we got to see a great one here at Dover, Delaware, and we got a lot of good ones coming up this week here on the Virtual Grip Network side. But next, heading into Slinger Speedway. Oh man, a little short track racing. John, you excited for that Thursday night?
Yeah, in fact, one of the guests that we had on the podcast this week was in that Red Light Racing League with our new co-host. So this is going to have a whole new look this week. Josh Buckley, who runs that league, is going to be become our co-host now there on VGN Weekly. But Lewis Flowers came in and did the interview, so he's looking forward to Slinger, and that's going to be a bull ring and a half if anybody who's ever been there. But look forward to that. And then, hey, you see Oswego up there with the late model series. I will be on the call for that. I'll be joining Soup up in the booth, and I get to call that one there. So I'm excited about meeting up with my old booth mate and hanging out with Soup for the evening.
Yeah, and you get to call the next one too. Someday we roll into Indy, John. I said probably the only real track with 4 actual separate corners. I'm excited to roll into the Brickyard. I mean, that's another track where I wouldn't be surprised to see a last lap pass for the win.
Yeah, that track's a different animal too within itself. Some drafting going down. You probably see a little bit of dive bombs to make passes, but those corners being relatively flat, very difficult to get side by side. I think most of the passing you're going to see are going to be on the straightaways. But these guys, you know, like I said, these guys don't ever disappoint. I can't wait to go to the IMS next week. That's always a very, very special place to me. I've been there so many times, and yeah, even if it's in the sim, you know, whenever I see it, it kind of brings goosebumps to my arms. So just love that place.
Well, that's going to be next Sunday, as always, 8 Eastern. So make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Don't miss a show. And on behalf of everyone at the Virtual Grip Network, we'd like to thank you for tuning in this long. I'd like to thank my partner, John Hine, the dude in the back, Ryan Seneker, and last but not least, every single one of you. Have a good night.